Yeah.
Joining us right now is Joey Fatone and music manager Joe Mulvihill. Hey, it's fun.
How we feeling?
We were looking at that video right now, and you're like, dang, look at that hair.
I know it was long, it was there, and now I'm adding more back from the back of the head.
Hey, good for you. I like that. Good for you.
Do you know that choreography as you're watching it? You're doing some moves
I
on the
know
couch.
the chorus, and then all of a sudden anything else is just a blur.
Yeah.
I know that the bye 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 and this thing is probably about it at the moment, but sometimes it comes back. It does. It kind of, the memory never goes away, but it gets a little fuzzy.
Yeah. And Joe, you worked with a lot of different music groups throughout, right?
Boyz II Men, Salt and Pepper, In Vogue, the
Love it.
Jacksons. Yeah.
Hey,
been
that's
doing it for a while.
awesome,
It's kind of crazy when you think about how long we've been doing it. It's kind of wild. That's why we came up with this documentary idea. We were like, we've been around so many people and seen so many things.
Yeah.
How do we allow the curtain to drop and let people really expose themselves? And next thing you know, we got a documentary.
Well, they had a doc a while back. I thought it was really good too, about a boy band one, I think, and I somebody members were involved. I don't know if I believe you may have been in it. I'm not sure.
But I think
Lance.
but Lance was the one that did
Lance
one
was
with
yeah,
the for
which is good. So these are fascinating too. Tell us about this one, how this one's different.
Yeah, for me, people have always been driven with Lou Pearlman, and obviously he is kind of the common denominator. If you know people who Lou Pearlman was the manager and lovely Ponzi scheme for
His
things that he
story's
did.
wild though, with all the blimps and the whole thing. That's crazy.
Brilliant for himself.
Brilliant and you know what was crazy, Joey?
Beef.
Like when I was watching about it though, like once he had success with you guys, he still kept doing all the shenanigans.
That's what I understand.
That's what
you
I
could
don't
have set
understand.
yourself straight. You could have did something, but you became greedy. And I think for us, and even other groups that may have not been with Lou, we saw that there's obviously a parallel story. There's something going on where, they may, almost like being on a football team. Everybody knows that camaraderie. They've been there. You can say, hey, I've been on the sideline. I've been on the 40-yard, this and that. Same thing with us. We've been on the stage. We've seen the audience and the reactions, but we know the ups and downs. We know the good times. We know the bad times. The pressures. A lot of times back then, mental health wasn't talked about. It was more or less of cry, suck it up, be in a corner, figure out what we got to do and move on. It wasn't like, hey, man. I was like, no, you got a lot of pressure. This group depends on you. You're with these guys. If you mess this up right now, or, for Lance's sake, if you come out, if you do this, in his mind, you can ruin the whole thing. So you had that dilemma, and we're 17 years old, 18 years old, maybe in our 20s.
Yeah.
Just still learning to know ins and outs of just life in general, and now have to get thrown on businesses. And, it's crazy. It's an amazing thing, though, for this doc to see all these individual people and tell their story.
Did you learn any more about yourself or your days from the doc?
Of course. I mean, there's one part where I interviewed one of my guys that was in the group before Lance, Jason, a buddy of mine who, he was the fifth Beatle, if you will, in a sense. He was the one guy that literally quit and didn't want to deal with it and just said, no, I don't want to do bubblegum music, but also this guy's becoming 1/6 member. This doesn't seem right to me. And he just didn't want to do it. And, for years, I didn't really talk to him that much. Obviously, it hurt us because we were getting ready to sign. You leave us like this? Years later, obviously, I kind of rekindled our friendship in the sense of, hey, come on over. But it was weird because I was like, hey, look at my big house and look at this. And you feel bad.
Yeah.
But I never asked him and had that conversation. I said, hey, man, I'm doing this documentary. I know you don't talk about it. And he's very humble about it, which is really amazing. And he's one of those type of guys where he's like, listen, yeah, back then, I know I made the right decision. If I would have known what would have happened, I would have been like, yeah, of course I would have taken the money anytime or taken the fame. But no one knew what this was going to go to.
Right, of course.
So again, now he's a realtor. He's great, and I still talk to him and hang out to him.
But I will say, right
reward.
after the interview, Jason, next thing you know, started singing again, getting back
he's
to
doing more
It's
stuff
almost
now
like
again, so it's great,
therapeutic for him to do the interview with Joey.
Cool.
Yeah.
They talked about everything, and there's a shot in the documentary where Joey asked him, do you regret not signing the contract with NSYNC? And he looks up to the ceiling, and he pauses. And as a putting it all together, we're like, keep that pause. Don't allow that to breathe. And you see a man going through his life. It was really emotional for us to watch it and for him. But now he's moved on. He's doing a bunch of stuff. It's almost like you helped him kickstart, get back creativity.
Wait, does he regret? How did he answer? Do I have to watch?
I think he did. You have to watch.
Okay.
I think he did, but his face shows so much emotion. It's a combination of everything.
I bet there's a common thread amongst the other boy banders too. That as far as a background storyline and how you're feeling, we actually have a clip where Nick Lachey and Jeff Timmons talk about the early days of 98 Degrees.
It does make you question, well, why did you sign us if you didn't want us to be who we are? You're trying to make us into something else.
You got to remember, we're a new act. We're not making any money. We don't know what the plan is, and this is our shot.
We'll try it. We'll try this. We'll go hang out at Bowery Bar with Russell. We'll do all these things. We'll do whatever we have to do. You go home, you're like, what am I? Who am I? It starts to really mess with you mentally.
Ooh, this is going to be good right
Yeah.
now.
So out of out of all the people that you interviewed, were a certain individual story that stuck with you the most, that really stood out?
Yeah, one with me, LFO.
Yep. Rich.
Rich.
Rich who passed away. But I'm saying
LFO was
Brad
a group. Brad had 3 group members that passed away.
Wow.
And it wasn't
all
like
of them-
addiction. It wasn't like anything.
Yeah, it wasn't
just,
crazy.
Cancer,
Cancer,
health issues and stuff like that.
Dang.
So he's sitting there reflecting all his years as a boy bander, and you could just see the emotion. And another thing, therapeutic for him. He's never talked about it like that. He just unloaded. And as I watched it, I was like, forget the boy band, just being friends with somebody.
Just being human.
You lose your friend, you lose your other
yeah.
friend, you lose your, and that's the greatest thing of this. We feel like everybody can relate to it because there is a human element to it. Not just because you're in a boy band.
Yeah.
It's just we all live lives and we all lives. That's what we say.
How many of the bands was Perlman involved in your doc?
There was usually pretty much almost 2 guys per group almost. It was myself and Lance. You got Jeff Timmons and Nick Lachey. You had
No, Perlman didn't have Jeff, Nick.
Oh no,
He's
I'm
saying
sorry.
how many people Perlman, right?
Right. Like
It
how
was
many?
probably Backstreet.
Oh,
It was NSYNC,
yep.
LFO, O-Town.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot.
Take 5. Other groups that you may not have even heard
Yeah.
or smaller ones that
Yeah.
were even. He was even building groups while he was in jail.
Dang.
So he was
fascinating.
That's productive.
I'm saying, don't
He was
stop.
still making that
productive
machine.
right
He
there.
didn't
Yeah,
care.
dude,
He was
that's
still going with it.
crazy. That's
Well,
crazy.
switching gears, everyone's so excited about the upcoming Michael movie. You shared that unforgettable moment with Michael on stage.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was the 2001 MTV VMAs. How did y'all convince him to come up there with y'all?
Well, it took an interesting convincing because we were supposed to do his performance with the Jackson 5. I don't know if I've told you this
No.
story. Oh, this is a good one, kids.
Yeah.
You want to break this down a little bit?
No, go
You
ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So basically, we were going to do this thing. Michael was actually supposed to sing another, we were going to write a verse for him for Pop. And he said yes, blah, blah, blah. We're like, great. His people call back and say, Michael's not doing anything. So we go, okay. And they already asked us to do the iconic, what is it? What was the show though? For Michael Jackson?
September 8th and 10th before September 11th in New
It was
York
Michael
City.
Jackson did that big icon.
He did the big
thing, his
icon.
big coming back, to entertainment, and he wanted us to perform. So we were like, well, wait a minute. If you're gonna say no, we're gonna say no. We're not gonna do it. And they were like, wait, what? We're like, no. If he's not gonna do our performance, why would we do?
Yeah.
Right.
So they're like, okay, well, he can't sing, but maybe he can dance. Well, how long now? Now we're talking seconds. Now we're going back and forth.
Yeah.
Finally, we agreed to what we need to. He comes out literally
He don't
right
come out.
before
Hold
the
on.
performance.
You push
though.
him out.
No,
Basically.
literally, they're about to go. It's MTV. They're about to
But
go.
they don't
okay,
know what
NSYNC
he's
plays.
doing though. Like the crew members don't really know if he's dancing or singing.
But he's
so-
not even there. He's not even there.
Yeah.
Like,
But he
not even
gets
there. The commercial comes, the break comes, the door opens up, he walks in next to Joey, they hand him a microphone, and he freaks out.
He goes, I'm not supposed to have a mic. I'm not singing. I'm not supposed to sing. And they're like, oh, okay. Like, somebody get the mic out of Mike's hand. He's not supposed to have a microphone.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah, it
go and
was
they
so
grab the
weird.
mic. He's all right. And then literally, like, not even 2 seconds later, the thing opens up. He does his dance, and that was it. And then
And then he walked out and left, and I was
did-
like, that's the most
So
ballsy
he
thing
didn't know
I've
what he
ever
was
seen.
doing. He just came out.
it was like, you
freestyled
got
it
a
and
couple of
bounced.
seconds. Yeah, here's the music. He had no
Yeah, yeah.
idea, really. Just,
But I love he comes to Joey. Like, Joey,
oh,
I'm
yeah.
not taking
I
this.
saw my eye contact. I saw the freak. I'm like, get the mic out of his head. No,
I
no,
like
no.
that his people just said, no, he's not
Yeah,
singing.
yeah.
Okay.
Hey, but he showed up. He did it. To your point, out the door.
That's
And by the way,
crazy.
we've done other stuff with him. He was a very nice man. He was extremely
Yeah.
nice.
Yes.
It's not easy to be Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
So we all can say all the crazy stuff and all this, but seeing him and talking to him individually, it's just like
Well, it just
the
goes to the
dude's been
pressure.
through some stuff,
Yeah.
man.
Well, that just goes to the
Stuff.
pressure of being in a boy band. He was in a boy band. So, sometimes you never get to live your childhood as well. So some of those guys in those groups, sometimes that mental has been, you know what I mean? It's kind of crazy to do. But the most amazing thing to see is for this, how the outcome has come, whether it be mental, whether it be financial, whether it be physical abuse or whatever the case may be. The outcome is you to see how strong these guys are and the outcome that comes out later on. And to see them, like, even, noticing what happens. It's truly amazing, like, as far as the reaction of going, you know what? This person did A, B, C to me, and I know that's wrong, and I need to confront that person. And that kind of went away for some of these guys. So it's pretty amazing.
Forgiveness and redemption. I can't wait for
Wild.
that.
Yeah. And when we watched it, we both went, dude, we did pretty good,
It's
man.
pretty
Like,
amazing.
us together, we're like, I think we did okay.
It literally is truly amazing to see these other guys and literally have the conversation one-on-one. Because again, people don't really realize you're sitting there 4 or 5 hours. 4 or 5 hours with each guy going through literally trying to
I
go through their
can't
life
wait.
story. And that's what we did.
Wait, before we go,
Yeah,
Aunt
yeah.
Juliet, you're fantastic. Are you coming back to join? You're the one that put him in it, Jeff.
Yes, I'm actually
my
going to be
kid.
coming out on tour again. There was a tour that they did. Obviously, I did on Broadway. I'm going to be in Connecticut on the tour in Connecticut and also in Chicago for 2 weeks. I'm saying that now, too, because I know we didn't talk about it, but now we're saying it. So I'm going to
Good.
be coming to
Right.
Chicago for 2 weeks. Aunt Juliet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Look forward
Come
to
back
seeing the
anytime.
doc
Thank
right
you.
there. Yes.
Boy Band Confidential premieres April 13th on ID. It'll be available to stream on HBO